Now, I want you to understand, as a chosen one, you're royalty. You are royalty. When you are a chosen one and God has called you forth in this earth to do something special or monumental or to make an impact, and I don't want you to measure it in terms of followers or things online, but in the impact that you're supposed to make in the lives of others. Even if you make that impact with one person, you could really be making that impact with a global change maker just by how you live your life. You are important, you are special, and these are all the things the devil don't want you to know about yourself as a chosen one. So I want to point out some things that you've probably seen in your life to help you get a better understanding of who you are and why the enemy fought you so hard, and what people have to know about you before they try to disrespect you or come after you or whatever like that, is that your crown will break their necks. The things that you have to do will break their necks because they're not equipped for it. They don't have the skill set for it. They don't have the wisdom for it. They don't have the experience for it. And in some cases, if God puts a special anointing on you, you may not even need experience, but just to really follow God and how to do that thing that the average person would need experience to do. So you are very special in God's eyes as a chosen one. And that's why the devil has fought you so hard. And so we're going to go over the ways the devil really do come after those that God has marked from the time that they were born. So the first thing is the devil is going to try to take you out physically. He's going to try to take you out from the time you come out that womb. He's going to try to put up warfare to keep you from growing into what God has destined you to be. All right. So you're marked from the time that you're born. Some of the ways, when you look at Jesus, when Jesus was born, there was already a king that was out to use that whole system to get him as a baby, okay? And other things that could happen as a baby that you have eluded, it could have been an accident, it could have been a sickness or something that was intended to take you out, whatever the case may have been, but you survived that and the devil could not take you out as a baby. So now the devil will go to your environment. The devil will seek to take you out through your environment. And what this looks like is if you are birthed in a family that's dysfunctional, that has deep-rooted narcissism, or people that's not submitted to God, they're going to say hurtful things to you that's going to damage you. Okay, it's going to damage you for a while. It's going to mess with how you think about yourself. It's going to impact how you think about yourself. It's going to make you feel like you're worthless. It's going to make you feel like you're not beautiful enough. It's going to make you feel like you're not smart enough. And you may well recognize certain gifts within yourself, but because the devil is attacking who you are, you're not going to right away recognize that this is just an attack from the enemy and that God has called you for greatness. Okay. So again, the first thing the devil will attempt to do is take you out physically. Then he will come to take away your identity. So he wants to rob you of your identity when he's trying to convince you through people that you're not enough in so many different ways. Okay. And so other things that you will see happen in your journey is physical ambushes, but those physical ambushes, they will not take you out. I'm going to give you an example from my life. When I was 13 years old, I was beat down badly by someone that was bigger than me and older than me. And it was so bad to the point that we had to go to court behind it. And so we went to court, and that person and another relative teamed up against me in court. Now, mind you, I'm a 13-year-old child, and another adult woman. Both of them teamed up against me in court, and the judge ruled in their favor, and they lied about what had happened. And that devastated me because I wasn't expecting any of that to happen. Okay. So that person that had beat me down badly, there were some times after the person would also try to provoke me or try to provoke a response out of me. Like she would go into another room in the house and she would make references to, I need my behind whipped, after she lied in court about what she did to me. So months later, what ended up happening, and I found out that somebody had beat her down badly. It was one of the person that had her heart, turned on her, beat her badly, and it was to the point she had bruises on her. When she beat me down badly, I didn't have any bruises. I was sore, but I wasn't bruised up or anything like that, but she was bruised up. So there's a recourse for touching and putting your hands on a chosen one. And people think that, they just gonna do what they're gonna do to you. But God got their number. Even before you realize God got their number. Okay. Another story I've told before about somebody that set me up to where I was disrobed, and God went after the mastermind behind it. And then when she went to work one day because they smelled something on her clothes, they told her she had to take everything off, and they gave her a cavity search too. So she had got what she sent out put back on her and then some. Okay. So that's why, as a chosen one, when people do things to you, they're going to get it back. Okay. There are some, they'll get it back the same way and then some, because part of it too is God elevating you right in front of the very people that tried to suppress you. All right. So bottom line is physical ambushes, okay, is what the enemy will try to use to ruin your confidence, your self-esteem, or to keep you out your destiny, to try to harm you. Okay. Another thing the enemy will attempt to do is sabotage you. So you made it through all those other attempts, and the enemy will attempt to sabotage you. I've said this once, I've said this again. One example I use when it concerns sabotage is when a person will get under you because of envy or because of a hidden vendetta. They will get under you to learn your vulnerability or to find a vulnerability and to use that against you. With me, that also happened when I started teaching with an older substitute. She wanted to be a teacher so bad that she was willing to try to get rid of me, even though she was not qualified to hold that position. So she created an idea to use in administration to sabotage me. So that's another way that the enemy will try to get in your way from you walking into your destiny, all right, as a royal chosen one. And sabotage, people have tried that in the Bible as well. People tried it with Daniel, okay? And even with Daniel, Daniel was more so part of a systemic attack. So as a royal chosen one, these attacks, you're so influential, you're so much of a big deal to the enemy's camp and anybody's that surrendered to the enemy, that these attacks get systemic. There's people on the higher ups in certain places that don't want to see you succeed because you're going to outdo them, because you're just that special. You're going to do something monumental. So they try to find different ways of getting in the way. And they look at ways of sabotaging you. Again, we look at Daniel, where they had to collaborate. That's another thing too, sabotage and collaboration. They got to come together to take you down. They got to create a lie to take you down. Okay. So they will collaborate against you or sabotage you, or at least attempt to. All right. and then they'll try to take that plan to somebody that they feel is going to carry it out. If they can deceive that person to carrying out the plan, then they will. And here's the thing, God has a ram in the bush for you, because a lot of times they feel like they know that person so much. And it just so happened with Daniel, when that plan did not go through exactly as planned, that was actually more time for that king to realize, I know Daniel's. And it didn't mean that this king, he already knew Daniel been a good man, but he also felt guilty. And he was happy and relieved that those lions did not tear Daniel up. But when these people that realize that they've been played, these kings, these leaders realize they got played to try to take out a chosen one, some of these people, they're really going to go after the liars and put the liars in the place that they have set you. Okay. So these people that try to sabotage you, they're going to find themselves in the exact same place that they tried to put you. That's why when the Bible lets you know they go to roll a stone upon you and it rolls on them. They go to dig a ditch for someone, they fall in that same ditch that they dig for someone. So these same people, they come after a chosen one with the intentions to sabotage, and they get caught in the same trap with that wannabe teacher, you know, that couldn't stand me. She had to try to sabotage me. And what happened? She didn't get the role. She still was left right where she wanted me to be. But because of where God put you and where God has prepared for you to go or whatever, it was nothing that she could have done, even though she felt like she was so good with the system to get me out of that spot. Okay. And again, the same place that these people try to put you, that's where they're going to be. They're going to be in that same spot. Okay. Now, finally, y'all, this is a powerful testament of what is in you and what the enemy will try to do to extinguish what you have in you. And it is when you realize that you have systemic enemies and they're going to use the system against you, whatever system that you're in. So you got systemic enemies in the government system. They might come after certain people in the government. And then on your job, depending on how your job is set up, you have systemic enemies there. Whether it's science, education, health, first responders. There are some people in some areas that are corrupt, and that system is ran by corruption. When you have people that are not putting God in all of their thoughts, okay, or living according to the word of God. And so in a system where you have systemic oppression or systemic backlash because of who you are, let me tell you how this looks. It looks like a Haman versus Mordecai. And Haman, because he felt that he should have been so esteemed in the system, Haman felt that he should have been a priority, to the point that people were supposed to bow down to him. So when Mordecai did not bow down to Haman, Haman was immediately offended. Why? Because Haman had pride with him. Haman had so much pride that, y'all remember when we talking about public humiliation and how, you know, if you let things go from your mind to your heart, it makes a person spiritually sick. It makes them sick in the head, sick in the heart, sick in their spirit. Then they do things like Mordecai. They start to think irrationally. So Mordecai, he was so offended by this chosen one of God, Mordecai. He was offended by this Jew, somebody that belonged to God, that he decided not only was he going to try to take out Mordecai, he was going to take out all the Jews. And see, you get a person in the system that's full of pride, they want to come after all of what belongs to God. Systemic retaliation. They will attempt to use the system against you. In certain systems, you have your Haman. Your Haman is not the king, but they act as if they could be the king. They act like if they could just say one thing, that king or that leader will turn against you. So they feel so powerful. They feel like at the snap of a finger, they can get rid of you, even when their authority or their perceived privilege or whatever comes with their role, they feel that they are equal to the higher up. They're equal to the person next to them. So that's why you have your Hamans and your Sauls that come after you. They use the system to come against you. They come against you because you're special. They come against you because you have oil in you. You are protected. You are precious. And so the enemy uses the Hamans of your system, whether it's in business, government, education, health, or whatever it is. The enemy will use the Hamans of your system to extinguish what God has for you. Okay? So what do? You go to God. At times you have to fast, and then you pray, and then you let God handle the rest. Because at the end of the day, the Hamans and the Sauls that are after you, they're going to self-sabotage. They're going to self-sabotage. With Haman, Haman thought that because, he was connected to this king, he was so special. But the king's wife, come on. And then the thing is too, these people, they get crazy because he knew the king's wife was a Jew. And I guess he thought that king was going to be so foolish enough, even while his wife being a Jew, he thought that king was going to be so foolish enough to take out his own wife. And the whole plan backfired. So it's just almost as if your Hamans, they get a bout of temporary insanity. And when God is finished with them, they're going to wish they had not have tried you. So I don't want you as a chosen one to feel like there's no victory. Yes, there's victory. And people will have to account for how they treat you when you have been good to them, or when you have stayed out their face, when you've walked the straight and narrow, when you have given them space and opportunity to go the other way, and they want to call themselves being big, bad, and bold and touching what is holy. They will feel the ramifications. Before their life is over, they're going to feel it. If this message has inspired you and empowered you, hit the subscribe button, and God bless you.